Hello, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Courageous in Creation Mindset Monday. No, you are not on the wrong channel. This is Courageous in Creation. I'm Karen Slack. Thank you for all of those that are watching the replay. Hello, Leanna. Thank you for joining. Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining. I don't think I'm going to be able to do the wave to everybody. Because it makes my phone move because of the holder it's in. So, hello to everybody. Welcome. First off, I want to say thank you to the ladies at Courageous in Creation for having this page and allowing me to take over a little bit this Monday. I have a bit of a meditation activity that we're going to do. So we're going to give it a minute to see who's on and wants to join live. And while we are, I'd love to check in with everybody. How are you feeling? How are you doing with this heat? Is it hot where you are? Because, dang, it's hot where I am and I'm over it. But how are you doing with the energy? How is the universal energy and your own personal energy within your life and your emotions and your spirituality? How is all of that working for you? It feels like we are moving through some pretty powerful energies. Hello, thanks for joining. Universally and individually. Yay, everybody's joining. Thank you for joining. Hello. Hello, April. Thank you, everybody, for joining. I was just saying that it feels like, oh, look again without moving my phone too much. It feels like we're moving through some pretty powerful energies lately, universally and individually. And I feel like that's how it hits. I feel like we have these energies we move through as a universal community, and then they also hit on a very personal level differently. Also kind of the same. So we're going to chat about that a little bit today. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Karen Slack. I am from Unique Beauty and Meditation. I am an empathic, intuitive, spiritual life coach with a passion for guided meditation and intuitive readings and energy work. I love to help people connect with their truth in their light and offer them validation and clarity for where they are currently in life. Feeling good right now. Great weekend away with friends, so I'm nice and relaxed and in a good space. This is a perfect day to be in a good space. I love that. Thank you for sharing. And it's funny how much a weekend away with friends can make such a difference. It really can shift our perspective on so many things. So, very cool. Alrighty, so let's chat a little bit about the powerful energies around. I am not a numerologist and I am not an astrologist, so I can't support you on understanding the intricacies of us meeting on 8/8/2022, or the fact that it's the Lionsgate portal. But I do recognize the universal energy that we are moving through. It feels like a very powerful energy, and it feels like it's an opportunity for us to embrace our personal power. And that's a bit of our intention. Beautiful weekend with family. Camping. I love that. Oh, camping is fantastic. Gets you out in nature, gets you away from the world. I love that. Thank you for sharing. That is cool. So, I feel like hi Cynthia, thank you for joining. I feel like we're being encouraged to embrace our personal power. We are being encouraged to step into our personal power. And sometimes when we do that, it takes courage, it takes faith, it takes surrender. Sometimes we have to let go of the way we thought things should go or the way things used to go and step into the way things get to go moving forward. And that challenges us at times because it can take us out of our comfort zone. So my intention for today's session, turn my music down a little bit. Anybody wants to know, in the background, if you can hear the music, I'm playing a royalty-free meditation music list off of Spotify. If you're interested in it, let me know. I don't even know if you can hear it, but it helps me. So what we're going to do is I actually have my Divine Abundance deck by Tasha Silver. This is often a deck I revisit because the cards are beautiful. They offer us an individual word or a couple of words, and they give us a little bit of inspiration. Oh yeah, I'm glad you can hear it. They offer us a little bit of inspiration and a little bit of guidance. So what I would love to do today is a short meditation activity using these cards. What we'll do is I'll spread them out, and I will, once we are in a bit of a relaxed state through some breath work or some awareness, we'll pull a few affirmations out, and we will sit with them. And how do they make us feel, and what do we imagine with them? So as I go through and share the words that I pull out from this deck, I want you to be mindful of how you receive them. Do they make you feel good? Do they make you feel challenged? What are some words that you think of when you hear these affirmations? If you were to put a color to them, what color would you put to them? If they make you think of a certain area in your life or a certain person in your life, take note of that. But just allow yourself the space to witness these affirmations as we move through them. And you can enjoy this meditative activity in a few different ways. You can allow yourself to take a deep breath and enter it in true meditation fashion. Or you can take a moment. Hi, thanks for joining. Or you can take a moment and you can pull out a journal and a pencil or a pen, and you can write down what you feel and what you see. And it doesn't even have to make sense when you write it down. It can just be words that pop into your mind. It doesn't have to make sense right now. It will eventually. Or you can simply listen mindfully as you're going for a walk, or as you're doing dishes or doing laundry. However this meets you in your life, you get to experience it that way. So often I have so many clients that move away from meditation because their meditative experience doesn't look the way it, quote unquote, should look. And this is your invitation to let it fit into your life versus you fitting into it. So, any questions on anything? Any thoughts or comments before we get into the meditative part? We'll start off with some breath awareness, maybe some body awareness, and awareness of what's around us, and then we'll move into the affirmations. Anybody have any questions or thoughts? Anything that's triggered them already? Let's get rid of that. Okay. And I don't know if I said it. I think I did. I think I even showed you the box. Hello, thank you for joining. We're just about to start a little meditation. Divine Abundance by Tasha Silver. Okay. So what I would love to have you do, if you're able to do so comfortably, is love to have you take a deep breath, close your eyes, and settle into your space. Even if you're going to journal or embrace some writing through this meditative activity, I want you to just close your eyes for a minute. Obviously, if you're driving, maybe don't close your eyes. But just allow yourself to take a deep breath. Allow your mind and your body to settle from its Monday energy. Allow all of the to-dos for your week, all of the to-bes that are rolling through your mind to settle away. Giving yourself permission to relax and be present within this moment. Take a moment to witness the space that you're in. What are the sounds or the aromas of this space? Maybe you take a moment and you recognize the distractions that are around you, trusting that as soon as you acknowledge them, they set away and they won't bother you through this activity today. And if they do, you can simply acknowledge them and refocus on the intention of this meditation. Now I want you to bring your focus into yourself a little closer. Be aware of your physical body, of your physical presence within your space. Feel the cushions underneath you. Feel the air on your skin. Allow yourself to adjust if you need, making yourself more comfortable. Be aware of the inhale and exhale in your chest. Maybe you feel it in your belly. As you become aware of your breath, allow it to stretch out and to settle into a smooth, natural rhythm. As you get comfortable with your breath, I want you to connect with your heart space. Right here in the center of your chest. I want you to imagine that there's a beautiful light within your heart. And I want you to imagine that that light grows and expands. Trust that this light from your heart flows through your entire body, through your mind, continuing to grow until it expands out into your aura. Surrounding you with a bubble of this light within your heart. Give yourself permission to relax safely into this light as you dedicate a few moments. We come into this space with an open mind and an open heart, and we embrace these affirmations to empower us as we move forward. They are tools of awareness that we move through mindfully. Divine signs. Allow the affirmation, divine signs, to roll through your mind. Witness the notion of divine signs as you welcome these words into your awareness and this energy into your heart. Divine signs. I embrace divine signs moving forward. Beautiful loss. Beautiful loss. Allow the affirmation, beautiful loss, to roll through your mind and to settle into your heart. As you allow these words to roll through your mind and settle into your heart, witness your emotions, witness your reactions, I easily release that which no longer serves me, allowing space for what does. I easily release that which no longer serves me, allowing space for that which does. We're going to move into our last and most powerful affirmation, divine love. divine love. Let the energy of this affirmation, divine love, to fully wash over your body, to fully wash through your mind, and to dance with the light in your heart. Recognize your ability to receive this love. Recognize how you have experienced divine love recently. Trust that you get to receive empowered, beautiful, divine love today, tomorrow, and always. As we move out of this meditation, I want you to breathe in these affirmations. Breathe in this light. Allow it to wash through your mind, wash through your body, depositing what's important back in your heart and washing away that which doesn't serve you. And when you are ready, you can finish off with a couple of deep anchoring breaths. If your eyes are closed, you can open up your eyes and reconnect with the space around you. Take a moment to recognize a couple of the small details in the space that you're in to help to ground you back in this moment. If you need a couple of moments to journal or to make a few notes, now is a great time to do that if you haven't been doing so already. And I would love to hear how that felt for everybody. If you're willing to share some of your experiences, I would love and encourage you to in the comments below. And I'm going to start off by sharing the cards for those that had their eyes closed during the process. The first card that we drew for our meditation today was signs. I love that she's open, ready to receive the signs that the divine universe is sending her. They're all around us. We get to sit and be open to them. And I also love that she's surrounded, sitting in this lotus, but it's white. She's surrounded by that pure white energy, and she's cleared her energy to be open. It felt delicious and divinely led. I love that description. Delicious. Thank you. She's allowed herself to be clear and free for just a few moments, to be open to the signs. And you can see the chaos of the world around her. We've got all these different designs and colors, but it's a beautiful chaos. So I love this one. And the tagline in this one, instincts are the message from the inner divine. So I love that the message on the card encourages us to listen to our instincts, listen to that intuition. I love that. Okay, let's catch up with Cynthia. Says, 1, love your shirt. Oh, beautiful loss, tingles all over. Had a bit of a conversation with this topic just yesterday, though. That's validation for you. I love that. Admittedly, when that card came up, I'm like, oh, this is going to hit some people. You were sharing that statement, opened something for me. So I would like to take a minute and highlight that process that Cynthia just shared with us. So she had a conversation yesterday with a friend about loss, recognizing, and correct me if I'm wrong, Cynthia, but recognizing losses in life, or recognizing, just conversating about the notion of loss and recognizing how it feels, shifts things and opens her up today to receive a higher awareness on that topic, to receive more information, to trust her instincts, to be open to more within that sensation. So there's a beautiful rhythm in that when we acknowledge what we feel as humans, we shift and release what doesn't serve us, and we allow ourselves to move into a bigger understanding. But with one, there's not the other. It's the yin-yang of life. Very cool. So thank you for sharing, Cynthia. Tricia says, I just feel, you create such a beautiful, soothing, and peaceful space. Oh, thank you. I love that. I love when we get to have a space where we can just breathe and witness as we are. And that's one of the reasons I encourage people to embrace meditation, how it works for them. Because if you're struggling against the meditation the whole time, you're not allowed to be aware of yourself. Salon Indigo says, I'm sorry I don't know your full name. Amazing feelings and beautiful people here. Everything happens for you. Love to all. I love that. Thank you for sharing. In that community, that sense of community can be so powerful. And I want to thank the ladies from Courageous in Creation for continuing to offer us community like this. April says, when I first closed my eyes, I saw a pin-sized dot of light, and as I centered in, it expanded, and I felt it starts in my heart chakra. Yes, I love that. This melted away the silly, stupid daily crap of life and all the BS. Yes, I love that. And when we can take a few moments with our Monday mind or the morning mind to do that and to connect with that light, that gives us a tool for awareness to carry with us throughout the day. I don't know about anybody else, but one of the hardest times a day for me to meditate is the morning, because my mind is already 4 steps ahead. So it takes a little more work to bring it back. But when practiced on a regular basis, that is a really powerful tool of awareness we get to carry within our day. Love is our anchor. Stacy, thank you for sharing. Thank you for joining, Stacy. Yes, love is our anchor. And that was the notion, like at one point in time, it was seeing the love anchor into our life and to ground us felt powerful. And Patricia says, all of the feels here, lots of love. I felt and saw bright yellow lights, a lot of emotions about beautiful loss. See, there is something about the beauty of loss. There's vulnerability and there's rawness in it, but when we can acknowledge it and just sit with it for a few moments, it helps us open up to new ideas and new concepts. And it shifts. It's like it makes room in us for more stuff. But if we are consistently trying to hang on to what the universe is trying to allow us to release, then we can't focus here and what's to come. And part of embracing our power moving forward is embracing the notion of opening up to the possibility of what's new. And part of what feels vulnerable and raw in that is that we've lost some of this stuff and we're standing there, what feels naked at times, waiting for what's coming to us to settle in. I also love the bright yellow because that honors our solar plexus, that honors your power center, it honors the confidence and your bright light that you get to share with the world. I love that. Yes, loss can be beautiful and necessary. Very cool. Okay, so this is the loss card. And I felt, it's funny because all of these are single words, yet they all felt they needed to have another word with them to help guide us in a direction. And the loss card says, sometimes you learn true offering through loss. That true offering of our vulnerability to share that loss. Like Cynthia had said, she was discussing it with a friend. You make a passionate invitation for love to take over. I love that phrase. And bring her own plan instead of the ego's. So I love the notion on this card when okay, good. I wasn't sure what time it was. When we allow a mindful awareness of that loss, we acknowledge and welcome love into our life, and that we step out of the ego and into our soul's divine plan. Love that. Love that. And then, of course, the love card comes in at the end, blanketing us in that beautiful love. I love that. And I love the red in this card. Usually I feel like the colors that are attached to a love card are softness, like pinks and greens and things like this. But I love that there is so much red. And I love the hummingbirds on here because they're so powerful. They're moving and they're little tiny powerful beings that literally vibrate on Earth. But the red acknowledges the passion that we get to embrace and love, and that love gets to activate our passionate side. So I love that card. And the phrase on this one, divine source, is the idea that no person, place, or thing is your salvation. Only love itself. So I love that the notion is that we don't have to find that salvation. We don't have to find that security. We don't have to find that power outside of ourselves with another person, another place, or another thing. We get to find it within. We get to find it in our heart, and we get to cultivate that. And activities like this help us do that. When we can connect with that heart light and we can expand it out. That reminds us that light is in us, that love is in us, and we can expand it around us. Very cool. So I do have a couple of things that I jotted down that I would love to share. Please share in the comments below if you have any questions, if you have any thoughts, if it sparks anything, or if there's anything else you want to share from your experiences. I thank you so much for everybody who has shared your beautiful experiences. I love the experiences that everybody has as an individual, and that we get to share them as a group, because so often each experience is individual, yet they build on a truer, more group concept, and I love that. So one of the very first things when we were moving into our meditation was the color purple. It felt like the color purple blanketed us, and it felt like it supported an awareness beyond what we currently understand. It reminded us that awareness is available. And it reminded us the power to breathe and witness activates our awareness. When we can sit and breathe and witness our mind, our body, our space, somebody else's words, somebody else's emotions, we get to embrace and open up that awareness. You're welcome. Thank you for joining. Then we shifted into brilliance. The notion to trust your talents and trust your sparkle. Your light is important to the world, but your light is important to your world. You've been placed in your specific world for a reason. Your light is important. Allow it to shine. Embrace those talents. Embrace that unique sparkle that you have. And also embrace the power of vulnerability. When we are able to be vulnerable, it's like we are taking our ego and we're cracking that shell and we're opening up to the ooey gooiness on the inside. And we're allowing ourselves to get to the good stuff. So embrace the power of vulnerability. And you get to share your vulnerability simply to share it, not for the results that you receive back. When you can be vulnerable, just to be vulnerable, and not own what happens with the result of your vulnerability, that vulnerability can land exactly where it needs to validate somebody else in the way it needs to. Does that make sense? Also, as we moved through it, it felt like one of the questions was, what are your tools of awareness? So what do you use or cultivate? Thank you. What are the tools that you use to cultivate awareness in your life? Is it like an actual tool? It all makes sense. Perfect. Thank you. Is it an actual tool? Is it journaling? Is it meditation? Is it walking in nature? Is it the breathe and the pause? What are your tools for awareness in your life? And how do they work for you specifically? When you can acknowledge the spaces where you felt more aware of yourself and of life, and you can acknowledge the circumstances around that, then you know how to cultivate more of that within your life. My nose itches. Gonna kiss a fool. Anybody's grandmother tell them that? You're gonna kiss a fool if your nose itches? Oh my god, my grandma told me that all the time. Must be she's here. Now I can't stop thinking about her. Okay. So as we move through the cards, when we flipped over divine signs, one of the things, see, right? You're going to kiss a fool if your nose itches. Okay. So one of the things that came to mind with divine signs are, what are some of the signs you have witnessed lately? Often we're like, I want to be open to the signs of the universe, and I want to be open to the messages that surround us. And they do. They surround us in plenty all the time. What we get to do is we get to be aware of how those messages have visited us in the past. Chances are we have one or two very powerful moments where we recognize this was a sign. Maybe it's a series of numbers. Maybe it's a message a friend sent. Maybe it's a color. Recognize what those signs have looked like when you've witnessed them in the past, so you can recognize. Sorry, my shade moved and there's actually no wind in here at this moment. So you can recognize how those happen moving forward. Beautiful loss. I could feel a bumblebee was on my foot, and it was such a mystical moment. It felt like a message. Absolutely. They're like little furry flying teddy bears. I'm not a fan. I don't want them necessarily to visit me all the time, but they look freaking adorable. And they don't make sense. It doesn't make sense that a bumblebee should fly when its body mass is what it is and its wings are what it is. But it doesn't care. It does it anyway. It embraces its power and it moves through life how it wants to move through life, not how the world tells it it should. So there you go. So many signs in my life lately. Do you keep a journal? That's another thing you can do. Write them down. That helps you become aware of them and kind of register them a little bit more. I always feel like writing for so many people is a way to take the thoughts and the notions that we have in our heart and our minds and communicate them to our more logical side. Goosebumps, I love it. So the beautiful loss is like I could feel it trigger people. But the notion of embracing divine release, we can only hold so much energy of awareness at a time. And if we are consistently aware of what isn't working, then we're ignoring the possibilities that's knocking at our door, ready for us to move in a different direction. And then divine love. How has it shown up in your life lately? Just like the signs, recognize how love has shown up in your life and how it gets to show up even further. Very cool. Your shirt is a saying I recently used in a situation where everyone was upset because it didn't go as planned. And I said, this is perfectly imperfect the way the universe intended. Yes, absolutely, exactly. I'm glad I wore the shirt this morning. See, that's perfect. Perfectly imperfect. I like the fact that you were there, able to help them with that. And chances are, if you weren't, if you're the only one that brought that notion up, you're meant to be in that group to help them see that. In divine plan and divine order are two affirmations that we can embrace when we feel like things aren't going as planned and we feel like things are cluttered and crazy. But that divine plan is bigger than us, and it gets to be perfectly imperfect. And chances are there's a reason that things didn't go as planned, and there's a reason why things aren't perfect all the time. And if we spend all our energy in making them perfect, we're closing our bubble in on ourselves. Love that. Thank you for sharing that. I love that. So I had this notion at the end. It was a picture that popped into my head, and this may feel kind of off and scattered, and I'm not exactly sure why this image popped into my mind, but it was a definite image that I almost physically saw, so I had to share. And it feels like there is a man, as if there was a man sitting at the table like this, and he felt like he had short, almost shaved head, like he had a really short crew cut that had grown in a little bit. I felt like his head was a little bit more rounder shaped versus square shaped, and I felt like he had like one of those Reagan shirts on, you know, where it's like white here and then the sleeves are a different color. I don't know, but I'm putting it out there. And I felt like he was sitting at the table with you in awareness of your power. It felt like this individual, whoever he belongs to, and I hope that this resonates with somebody, but whoever this individual belongs to, or maybe it's the notion that we get to have divine support, recognize our power. But he was sitting with you in awareness of your power. He was there already knowing your power, but appreciating the ability to witness you know your power. So I don't know who this guy belongs to, but I feel like he comes to the table of this meditation today in a reminder that we all have a divine support system that sits with us. We all have angels and guides and loved ones that already know our power. They have seen and witnessed our power, and they are there to help us cultivate that power. They already know we have it. They're just ready for us to witness it ourselves. So when we don't know our power, we get to lean in and trust and have faith that that divine team that's with us knows that we get to have that power and knows that we already have that power. Does that make sense? If this individual sparks somebody in your mind, let me know. If not, that's completely okay, because there's a bigger message to it. Very cool. So those are my notes that I had for this meditation today. I would love to know if anybody has any questions or any thoughts. And I'm so grateful for everybody's openness today, and for your ability to be here and to hang out for these 45 minutes and to witness your own power and energy. And this gets to be an activity that you take with you moving forward. It gets to be a notion that you get to connect with this light, and you get to use these affirmations throughout your week. And you can revisit this. Come back Wednesday and sit with it again and see how it feels again. Or if you sat in meditation this time, sit with journaling next time, or put it in your ears as you're walking out in nature. Thank you, Patricia. I'm grateful for you too, Patty. Thank you. Very cool. So, yeah, we're going to pull one last card because I don't have any other decks to accent the end of this. And because I feel like there needs to be one last one to honor the power that we embraced today. And I would love to hear everybody's 8/8 of 2022 goes today. We're gonna go right in here. So we finish off our session today with the notion of non-duality. The notion that everything has purpose and it all is part of the grand design, and that we don't have to be this or that, and that this and that are all part of our beautifully imperfect self. Let your authentic, humanity shine through, while also bowing to the inner divine. You can become you can become fluent at both. There you go. Cool. So even though I just put all of those cards away, bummer, I'm going to find them and put them as pictures. Right? Goosebumps. I love that. Pictures on my page. I'll find them later so people can see them directly. Very cool. If anybody has any questions or needs any further support, you can find me at Unique Beauty and Meditation on Instagram, on Facebook, as well as my website. If you go to my profile, there's a little link in my bio. That's my dot link. It has all the stuff that's going on. So feel free to check it out and let me know if you need any help. Thank you very much, everybody, for being here. And again, to all the ladies of Courageous in Creation for having me today. And I encourage you to continue to support the work they're doing because it's making a difference in the world. So, very cool. Thank you. Have a beautiful afternoon. I can never remember how to end these.